This video is going to be a sneak peek into some of my training. So what I'm taking you guys through today is going to be an arm workout. I'm not filming every single set, but I filmed one set of each lift that I did for the day. And this is my arm routine for at least 75% of the time. As of now, arms are a priority, so I am upping the frequency and volume. I don't think you guys should be copying my exact frequency or my exact volume. I'm filming this workout not because I want to, and not because I think this is the goal of my channel, but I talk a lot about lifting concepts and lifting ideas, and it would be very helpful for you guys to see just a little bit of my training. There are some reasons why I try to avoid filming all my lifts and posting all my lifts, but every now and then, every couple months, it is good for you guys to see me kind of walk the walk and not just talk the talk in my other videos. So first that you saw was some barbell curls. Over here, we're moving on to some cable skull crushers. I don't quite have the mobility to go all the way over my head to do some overhead extensions, especially in the standing position, but I do have the mobility to do that in the seated position with a free weight on my easy bar. But I want you guys to focus more so on not my mobility or not the exact lift that I'm doing, but I want you guys to see the execution, see the focus I put into it, see the range of motion, see the proximity of failure. Take some notes, watch the way I'm doing these lifts. You'll notice that the form and my technique isn't textbook. It's not the perfect biomechanic movement on every single lift. It's the way that I can activate the muscle the most in the way that allows me to be strong but still put that muscle under a pretty good load of tension. So up next, what you're seeing is the overhead extensions with the super easy curl bar. This is a staple in my tricep training. As you can see, my mobility is a little bit off here. You can kind of see on my right arm, it is coming forwards a little bit. Ideally, I would recommend doing this lift, especially if you have tight shoulders and lats, on a seated bench, but with a limited space in my basement, that is unfortunately one of my staples I did have to give up. But look at that grinder of a rep. It's like, these are the reps and these are the sets, and this is the execution that will actually grow your arms. You hear people talk about just do your dips, just do your close grip bench, do your chin-ups, do your pull-ups, do your rows, and that will grow your arms. And yeah, I mean, the people that do make a lot of their arm progress from those lifts are typically the people that just don't execute these isolation lifts the way that someone like myself would. So I want you guys to watch how seriously I take them. You can see how slow I'm going, how much I'm actually focusing on the stretch and the contraction. This is no like full ROM 100% perfect biomechanic technique by any means, but watch my face. Watch the contraction. Watch the concentric rep speed. Look how slow it's getting. Like, I'm taking this very, very close to failure. I have to cheat a little bit before I basically get to complete failure, but just look at the intensity I'm giving to it. And I want you guys to take some of this and apply this into your own training. Up next, we're moving on to some reverse curls. These are my 100% go-to for the forearms. As you can see here, I know it's a little bit tough to tell because I just filmed these with my iPhone and I'm in pretty bad lighting, but I do keep my thumb under, and that's so grip isn't a factor. I'm just working the bicep a little bit, lots of brachialis and radiobrachialis here. This will just give you kind of some big beefy forearms. Definitely do these, but you can see that normally I would fail right there, but I can move my elbows forwards a little bit, cheat a little bit, and get another rep out of that set. So I take these very seriously, and this is what's going to build big arms. Up next, you're going to see some tricep pushdowns with the cable. I'm super lucky to have this cable machine. As you can tell, it's two separate cables, so it does give you a pretty optimal position. The closest thing that I could say for most people that have access to cables is just to use two ropes at once and put them on the same cable attachment. I know that's, at first glance, seems like a flashy Instagram influencer type lift, but it's actually pretty solid. I do recommend it. But look how close I take this to failure. Like, I'm grinding these reps out. I have to lean forwards a little bit. Look how slow that is. I completely stalled out there. And where most people would just give up on that rep entirely, I can take that one to failure because I basically am not going to get fatigued from that movement. It's not like I'm taking a squat and trying to take it to failure, past failure, and do partials. Like, that's a bad idea. But some of these lifts, it makes a lot of sense just to take it as close as you can to failure with good technique. It really does. And this is the stuff that's going to build muscle, keep your fatigue low, and give you some easy recovery. So you can do super high volume, which is one of the primary factors when it comes to muscle growth. So this stuff just makes sense. If you've heard my other videos talking about volume and isolation lifts, you kind of know where I'm coming from here. If you haven't seen those, I definitely do recommend. I know I have a lot of new subscribers to the channel, so I definitely recommend checking out some of my isolation lift videos, progressive overload videos. This lift I'm doing here, I actually don't know what the name is, so I'm just going to call it a basement curl for now. I'll take the name until someone says that it has another name. But as you can see, I know I missed it a little bit there, but it's basically just an angled forearm curl, a wrist curl with the cable, and I do roll it back into my fingers quite a bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Just a little bit of some posing here, showing off a little bit of the pump. I did have to turn on the bigger light so you could actually see a couple things here, but yeah, I mean, this is the starting point in my new road to bigger arms journey, so we'll see where I end up. But yeah, as of now, this is the starting point. So thanks for watching.